Welcome! Today we're making a classic Italian favorite, spaghetti bolognese. This hearty dish features a rich, flavorful meat sauce paired with perfectly cooked spaghetti. Whether you're a seasoned cook or just starting out, this recipe is simple to follow and will result in a delicious meal you'll love. Alright, let's start with the ingredients. For the sauce, we'll need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 large chopped onion, 2 finely chopped carrots, and 2 celery stalks, also finely chopped. We'll use 3 minced garlic cloves for flavor. For the meat, 500 grams, or 1 pound of ground beef. You'll also need a can of crushed tomatoes, about 400 grams, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and 1 cup of broth. Optional but highly recommended is half a cup of red wine for depth. For seasonings, 1 teaspoon each of dried oregano and basil, 2 bay leaves, plus salt and pepper. Finally, a quarter cup of milk or cream to smooth out the sauce. For the pasta, 400 grams of spaghetti, cooked in salted water. Top with fresh Parmesan cheese, and you're good to go. Let's begin by heating 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a large pan over medium heat. Now toss in the chopped onions, carrots, and celery. Stir them around and let them cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. You want them to soften up nicely and even get a little caramelized. Keep an eye on the heat. If it's too high, they might burn instead of soften. Once they're almost done, add in the minced garlic and stir for about a minute, just until it becomes fragrant. Garlic cooks fast, so don't let it burn. Next, push the vegetables to the side of the pan and add in your ground beef. Break the meat up with your spatula so it cooks evenly. Let it brown, stirring occasionally for about 5 to 7 minutes. You want to make sure the meat loses its pink color. Once the meat is fully browned, mix it in with the vegetables. This combination of meat and veggies will form the base of your bolognese sauce, adding depth and flavor. Now, if you're using red wine, this is where it comes in. Pour about half a cup into the pan to deglaze it. Make sure to stir well, scraping up any browned bits stuck to the bottom. These little bits are packed with flavor. Let the wine simmer and reduce for about 2 to 3 minutes. The alcohol will cook off, leaving behind a deep, rich taste that really enhances the sauce. If you're skipping the wine, just proceed with the next step. Now it's time to add the key elements of the sauce. Pour in the can of crushed tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and 1 cup of broth. Then sprinkle in 1 teaspoon each of oregano and basil, and add 2 bay leaves. Stir everything together so it's well combined. Bring the mixture to a gentle simmer, then lower the heat and cover the pan partially with a lid. Let this cook for at least 30 to 45 minutes, stirring occasionally. The longer it simmers, the more the flavors blend and intensify. While your sauce is simmering, you can monitor the consistency. If it gets too thick, add a splash of water or extra broth to loosen it up. The key here is to keep the sauce rich but not too dry. If it seems too thin, you can let it simmer uncovered for a little while to reduce and thicken. Keep an eye on it and stir occasionally to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom. The vegetables and meat should be soft, and the sauce should have a nice balanced flavor. As your sauce finishes simmering, it's time to add the final touch. Stir in a quarter cup of milk or cream to smooth out the acidity of the tomatoes. This step adds a nice creamy texture and balances the sauce. Let it simmer for another 5 minutes, just until everything is fully blended. At this point, taste the sauce and adjust the seasoning with salt and pepper if needed. Also, don't forget to remove the bay leaves before serving. While your sauce is simmering, bring a large pot of water to a boil. Make sure you generously salt the water. It should taste like the sea. Once it's boiling, add 400 grams of spaghetti and cook it according to the package instructions, usually around 9 to 12 minutes for al dente. Give it a stir occasionally to prevent the noodles from sticking together. When the pasta is ready, reserve half a cup of the pasta water, then drain the rest. Now it's time to bring everything together. Add the drained spaghetti straight into the pan with the bolognese sauce. Toss everything well, making sure the pasta is fully coated. If the sauce feels a little too thick, you can add a bit of the reserved pasta water to loosen it up. Once everything is mixed, you're ready to serve. Dish out portions of spaghetti bolognese into bowls, sprinkle some freshly grated Parmesan cheese on top, and if you'd like, garnish with some fresh basil or parsley. Lastly, here are a few tips to perfect your bolognese. First, for the best flavor, let the sauce simmer as long as you can, up to 2 hours on low heat if possible. This gives the flavors time to really develop. If you're skipping the red wine, feel free to use extra broth instead. The wine adds depth but isn't essential. Adding milk or cream at the end is key. It balances the acidity from the tomatoes and gives the sauce a richer texture. If your sauce is too thick, thin it out with some reserved pasta water or broth. And if it's too thin, just simmer it uncovered a bit longer to thicken. Enjoy your delicious spaghetti bolognese.